This is 247 Sports, and this is the teams with the most returning starters 2024 ranked, right?
Mhm.
So if you get on through there, number one is Virginia Tech with 22 players returning, 11 offense, 9 defense. That didn't have nothing to do with us, so we'll skip that. But number two, Oklahoma State, 21 players returning, 10 on offense, 10 on defense. That's a lot of players returning for Oklahoma State. Why is there so much hype around Utah, guys? I just don't understand that. I mean, look, Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy, are you guys going to tell me that you're underestimating that guy? Because I'm not. Oklahoma State's going to be really good. Now, if their running back was to get hurt, oh, that could be bad for them because everybody remembers last year they were not real great. They were not a very good team. And then all of a sudden, this running back they put in the game went wild and nobody could stop his ass. What's the hell's his name?
Ollie Gordon.
Ollie Gordon. That's right. Thank you, Jackson. Ollie Gordon. So
Yeah.
Ollie Gordon gets in the game and starts running wild on everybody, including West Virginia. I think that was like his breakout game. My God, we couldn't stop that guy.
Yep.
We'd have 5 guys around him, and he would just run right through all 5 of them and go. This guy is talented. Now, if he gets hurt, I think Oklahoma State's going to be in trouble. I really do. But if he's healthy, there ain't nobody in this conference. Utah, Arizona, nobody beating Oklahoma State. Not West Virginia, not anybody, if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, I think we have a chance. Now, going on from that, you have Iowa State returning 19,
they're
9 on
scary
offense,
in
9 on
games.
defense. Right, they're going to be a scary team because you don't know what to expect, right? Matt Campbell, Iowa State's always been a dumpster fire, except for when Matt Campbell came, and he took them out of that dumpster fire and brought them into the light, so to speak. But here's the problem: we don't know what to expect this next year out of Iowa State because they didn't set the world on fire last year, but they're returning a lot of starters, and that means a lot because teams that lose people, all of a sudden now that beat Iowa State last year, they're going to lose to them. They're not going to be able to beat them, because they've got all these returning starters. Plus, players progress as they go, right? They get better as they go, which was what Neil Brown was talking about today, the progression. Everybody getting better as you go along. Iowa State's going to be a good team, guys. What do y'all think?
Yeah. I mean, they can put a scare into you, especially if you're in Ames, Iowa. I'm curious, though, to what they'll bring against Iowa at Connect Stadium this year.
Yeah, that defense.
Yeah.
Iowa still has a really good defense, but Iowa State is not talked about. And I'm going off on a freaking rant on this guy from Utah. He mentioned Kansas State. Yeah, they were fantastic, but he's poo-pooing and forgetting about Iowa State, and he's forgetting about these other teams that you don't know what you have. I mean,
Right.
It's like going into a freaking bear's den with a flashlight. You don't know what's in there.
Right. Exactly. So if we go on down through here, and I was surprised at the number of Big 12 teams in the top 10, even the top 15 and top 25. Baylor at number 6. We were already at our third or fourth, third Big 12 team. Let me look again. So we had let's see, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and now Baylor. Third team out of 6 returning production. 9 offense, 7 defense. Now, Baylor was a dumpster fire last year. We all know this. And Dave Aranda's got the hottest seat in the country. I think we all agree on that. But can Baylor turn around this year with all that returning production? Because that's a lot of returning production. 9 on offense and 7 on defense.
So, yeah, Baylor, you can't tell me with that brand new shiny stadium and the money that they have, they're not in contention for key players. I mean, they recruit talented players. I think it's a coaching situation. I think I don't Jackson, do you think it's a coach or do you think it's how can they go from RG3 10 years ago to where they're at now?
Well, 12 to 13 years ago. That's a good question. We're going to find out a lot about Baylor in the first half of the 2024 season because I can't help but feel like that if Baylor does not have a good start to their season, then Aranda's getting fired.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, I do too. I agree. Now I want to go back to this disrespecting West Virginia, right? Because they was disrespected last year. Picked to finish last in the conference, finishing fourth in the conference at 9-4. 8-4 in the conference, 9-4 after the bowl game. So you have Iowa State tied for third with returning production. You have Baylor tied for not tied. They are six with returning production, right? You have to go all the way down to. Let me tell you now. Look, Northwestern is tied for seventh with returning production, 6 on offense, 9 on defense. Northwestern, Stanford, who's horrible, 9 on offense, 7 on defense, ranked seventh. You have to go all the way down to 20, tied for 21st. After all these other teams, West Virginia with 15 returning starters, 8 on offense, 5 on defense, 2 on special teams. Not only that, the 8 on offense, I mean, they are really, really good. We lost. We didn't lose hardly anybody. We still got a running backs. We still got a quarterback. Still got a wide receivers. We lost Zach Frazier on the line, which was our biggest player. We lost him in the second round of the NFL draft. Look, that's disrespecting West Virginia to throw them at 21 and put Northwestern at 7th. Are you kidding me? So, I mean, y'all tell me your thoughts on that.
I think that West Virginia is going to have a really good start to the first 8 games of the season. You get through the first 8 games at, say, 6-2, you got a very realistic chance of getting into the Big 12 title. Now, those first 4 games, it's rough. I mean, Penn State, I mean, that's no cupcake, that's for sure. They're pretty tough. You got to go to Pitt. That's where dreams go to die in college football. And you got Kansas coming to your backyard in Morgantown. Of course, you got to go to Oklahoma State. You got Kansas State coming to your city. And you have to go to Arizona.
So Arizona and Oklahoma State scared the bejesus out of me.
Well, you know, they should scare everybody, obviously. My point is that there is disrespect for the Mountaineers again this year. And listen, I'd be saying this if I wasn't a Mountaineer fan. This is a Big 12 show, and I'm just throwing this out here. There's disrespect on West Virginia again this year, just like there was last year when they picked them to finish last in the conference. I heard a show today where somebody didn't even have West Virginia in the top 10.
Yeah.
Then I watched another show on Big 12. What's that podcast we were talking about there a while ago, Shane? What is it?
Locked on Big 12.
Locked on Big 12.
Oh,
had a Utah guy on there today who gave no respect to West Virginia whatsoever. Never even mentioned West Virginia, going down through there on people that could win the conference. You know, so there's no respect for West Virginia still, and I love that. I really do, because that lights a fire under their ass in Morgantown. And these people don't know what they're asking for when they do that.
Well,
it lit a fire on their ass last year for sure.
Exactly.
Not even as a West Virginia fan. It just the ignorance of coming from another conference and not knowing that the parity is there. These teams are going to beat up on each other. It's cannibalistic. It's not. You're not going to roll through like it's the ACC or the Big Ten and have I happen to have 3 games that I have to win. All the rest are just I show up. And I know that's kind of a shitty way of putting it, but, you know, you literally have to have your best game every week, because these teams are as good or if not better than you week in and week out. You're not playing a homecoming game.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about them poo-pooing. You know, he mentioned Kansas State, but, you know, Iowa State, you know, he totally took a crap on TCU.
I don't understand the disrespect for Iowa State right now. I mean, it's ridiculous. This team's going to be a good team. This Iowa State team's going to be dangerous. And if you have to play them in Ames, Iowa, I'm going to predict already you're going to lose. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're in the Big 12 and you have to go to Ames, Iowa, you're going to lose that game this year. I promise you, it's going to happen. Because Matt Campbell has them guys rebuilding. He's rebuilding that program. And you know, Iowa State's one of them programs that you have to build and have a good team every 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah,
You've got to get your people in place and set them. And guess what? Matt Campbell was pretty good back 4 or 5 years ago. Remember? Now we're back here 4 years later, and he's returning all this production. You better watch out for Iowa State.
Yeah, and if we can see Iowa State have a humongous season in 2024, we could see the coaching rumors get back up for Matt Campbell. Not saying that he would leave Iowa State, but you know that's going to happen. You know, oh, Matt Campbell's going to leave for this school. He's going to leave for that school.
Now,
yeah, he never left. He was going to leave for the NFL too. Everybody was saying too, right? They had Detroit Lions and stuff. They were like, "Yeah, he's going to leave and go." He never left. He likes it in Ames, Iowa. A lot like Lance Leipold likes it in Kansas. That man could have probably went anywhere this year, and he stayed in Kansas. Took on a new contract. A lot like Rim Baker did at West Virginia today. So a lot of SEC schools, particularly Missouri, was after Rim Baker, right? And Rim Baker is just like, I'm a West Virginia guy now, and signed the contract to 2030. I think that's great. I like to see that, because if coaches and athletic directors move around a lot, what's that telling the players to do, right? And I think if you can have stability in a program like West Virginia's got right now, Neil Brown, like Iowa State has right now in Matt Campbell, like Kansas has right now in Lance Leipold, and like Texas Tech has right now in Joey McGuire, when you have that foundation and these coaches that are really good are staying put, that tells the players that, hey, stay put, you know, be calm, be patient, and stay here. And we're going to have the same coach all the years we're here. And I think that helps.